Hello, this is Greg, the Masked Gamer, and I'm coming to you with my second and final filmed play through for Marvel Dice Throne missions, because I'm going to be playing it a lot more, but not on cam. Somebody did in the comments request Master Mold, so I'm going in for Master Mold for my second game here. This is a difficulty 3 scenario, which should take 70 to 90 minutes. So buckle up, buttercups, because we're going to go in. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is a place for COVID cautious folks to talk about board games. You do not have to be COVID cautious in order to be here, provided there is no minimization, denialism, or harassment of any kind. With that said, I am playing solo today, so I do not have to wear a mask. But tomorrow I am hopefully going to have enough energy after work to show this to a friend who will wear a mask. I just want to point out the gorgeousness of this Iceman mini, who comes in the quote-unquote painted mini set, but there is zero reason to paint because he's icy. I love it. He's hot. It's great. Let's talk about this map. Okay, so this is the scenario Savage Sentinels. Something has gone wrong at the Sentinel factory and defective units are being mass-produced and attacking innocent bystanders. Rescue as many as you can and then get into the factory. We get 4 health on each bystander, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bystanders on the board. The main objective is to defeat the Gamma Sentinel guarding the factory doors and then move all heroes through the exit. Or defeat all the henchmen. Upon completion, if you fulfill the main objective, distribute 4 health and 2 momentum. Each unrescued bystander triggers the failure penalty, which is somewhere else on the board. Perfect reward. If your team rescues all of the bystanders, get an additional 4 health and 2 momentum. We're not going to aim for that. Tip. Remember, when a sentinel is defeated, use 3 defeated tiles to cover them up and distribute 6 momentum instead of 2, because they're biggins. Bonus objective. There's a bonus objective. How interesting. The Sentinels are attacking bystanders near the factory. The goal is to rescue bystanders before the Sentinels defeat them. Bystanders are not players. They are never targeted by offensive abilities, but they can receive damage from the Sentinel's crisis abilities. If a bystander is reduced to 0 health or has any henchmen adjacent to them when the heroes exit, they are defeated. An undefeated bystander is rescued if all adjacent henchmen are defeated. When rescued, remove all health tokens on them, place a clear tile on them, which is the other side of a momentum token, and then the start player will choose a hero to draw a card. Whenever a bystander is defeated, a defeated tile will be placed on them instead without gaining momentum, and then all heroes discard 1 card and receive 3 collateral damage. So in order to rescue all of them, we would need to defeat all 4 Sentinels, to be clear. We're going to do our best to defeat as many as possible. We are going to do our best to rescue as many people as possible. I've chosen to put my focus fire on the Gamma and start off with trying to kill that to make sure that I can exit at any time if I need to. We're going to have 4 rounds before the green Sentinels do 2 damage to all bystanders next to them. And then Alpha Sentinels might do damage to all bystanders. And the Gamma Sentinel might do 1 damage to all bystanders. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to save them. I don't think it's going to happen. But we're going to do the best that we can because we are Iceman. Iceman's got some cool abilities. I wish I could show you more, even though you really can't see it. So he's got these like little arrows on his board. And if I have a glide token, I can do this, use a glide token, and immediately do this without rerolling. So I can do 2 actions in the same turn. I don't know that there's any way to really, what's it called? I don't know that there's any ways to like chain those together and do more than that and really go along the path. But we'll see. There's this extra card called the Freezer where he puts ice. And whenever there's more than 5 ice on the freezer, I immediately get a glide token and then leave more ice there. But I can't spend ice from there. I have to get ice out of the freezer first. Yeah. And there's certain abilities that let me take that ice out of the freezer. Frostbite lets me take it out. Hoarfrost lets me take it out. But we'll try to figure out how that goes as we travel. The first thing that's going to happen here is we are going to get to move into the room. How fun! The green guy is attacked by melee, so I want to try to not be next to them, if at all possible. We're going to see how much damage I can do to this green one before trying to move on to the blue one. And we're going to try to use as little momentum as possible to do so. So my first movement is going to be to come here onto this space and claim this +1 token. Not that I'm going to be able to do much with that, but sure. We do not do an income phase the first round. I only get what I have in my hand. I am going to go ahead and spend both of my CP to upgrade Cold Treat to a stronger version. I was thinking about using that to upgrade my defensive ability because a lot of these things do defensible damage this time, but I did not do so. We are going to put our dice tray on top of these objective things, and that's where they're going to sit today. Let's talk a little bit about our, let's not talk about our allies. I'm just going to let the group know that I am aiming for She-Hulk for reasons that are reasons. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to roll our dice. We got 2 ices and 3 slides. 2 ices and 3 slides can immediately give me this Cold Treat ability, which I just upgraded. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that instead of being rowdy. I can also do 2, 3, 4, 5 and do a Thaw Stone, but that does less damage. And Iceman's offensive negative status effect dice cube is one of those things that doesn't do anything to NPCs, so I just don't care about it. So we are going to go ahead and activate Cold Treat. We're going to get 1 CP, which is nice. We are going to store 2 ice shards in the freezer. You can't see that freezer, so let's do that so you can kind of see what's going on over here. And we are going to deal 8 damage to this boss. I'm going to save this +1 for when I feel like it's useful, so we're just going to go ahead and just do the flat 8. That gets rid of the shield for 3, and then does another 5, leaving this with 30 health. Oh, I do 1 extra damage because I have my focus fire on it. Does that stay forever? Yeah, every time I attack it, I'll do an extra damage, so that should help me out a little bit. Okay, so we've done that. That was the end of that phase, and now we are going to, very sadly, very scarily, go on to the baddie phase. So we're going to go ahead and roll the 4 baddie dice. And we're going to cross our fingers and pray. So can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. So we have got 3 oranges and a star. So the Gamma Sentinel will not do anything, but the other 2 will. I'm not worried about the Beach Sentinels because they only attack in melee, and I'm not Beta Sentinels. They only attack in melee, and I'm not near that. So I'm gonna ask this guy. I'm gonna spend my 1 CP to have this need to re-roll the medium die, and of course I rolled the same result again. But that did absolutely nothing to help me out. So the Alpha Sentinel will indeed attack me at range. First thing that happens is it gets a shield. That sucks. Second thing that happens is it inflicts burn. And I'm freaking Iceman, so that's going to really suck. Burn is I will take 2 damage during my upkeep phase until I somehow remove it. So it's persistent, it stays forever. And it's going to do 5 defensible damage to me. So first I'm going to roll my 5 defense dice, my 3 defense dice. And on a yellow, I inflict 1 damage, so that, 1 undefendable damage, so that is going to reduce this to a 9. And on a slide, I prevent 2 damage, so I'm only going to take 3, not 5. And I got 2 of a kind, so I get to store an ice shard in the freezer. So I reduce the damage by 2, which means 5 minus 2 is 3, so I'm down to 42. The thing that I'm more worried about here is the burning. The burning is going to suck tookies. Yep, I mean that's where we're at. Okay. We're going to move this crisis style and lose 1 CP, but guess what? I ain't got no CP to lose. I don't lose. I don't lose no CP. Okay. Ooh, this is tougher. This is tougher than the other one. We're obviously not going to be attacking that just yet. I want to try to keep collecting some stuff while I keep barreling this guy, so I'm going to move over here and take this token, which gives me 1 momentum. I need 2 momentum to summon She-Hulk, so I'm not quite there yet. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, not an upkeep phase yet. Now we're on Hero Part 1. We do upkeep phase, we take 1 damage from the burning. That sucks Tookuses. We do income, so we get 1 CP and we draw 1 card. Gliding on thin ice. I can spend 2 CP to store a bunch of ice shards is basically what that does, which is not really going to change my life. We're just going to have to try to barrel on through and do some damage to get it. We have rolled, we've rolled 1 frost, and we've got 2 frost, we've got 2 ices and 2 slides. 2 ices and 2 slides does a bunch of poopy for me. I want to get more ice. I want to remove a negative status token, but I really don't have anything that's going to let me do that. If I can get everybody chill or Hail the King, I could do more things. I'm just going to hold on to this 6 and try to get some more 6s. I don't know if that's going to work out very well, but it's the plan. Same dice roll again, but I do now have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a full straight. I'm going to take that full straight. I'm not going to take any risks. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a full straight. So that is Hoarfrost. That allows me to store 3 ice shards in the freezer. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. However, this is more than 5. So I can immediately spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those to go ahead and get a glide. So I have a glide. I don't know why I have 2 glide tokens when I have only a stack limit of 1. And it does say here I can only spend that once per turn, but that means I'm going to be able to do more than I thought originally. Now I can transfer any ice token stored in my freezer to my hero board. So I can go ahead and transfer. Oh, I can store 1 glide on here that's not. Oh, I see. Okay. So I can remove the 5 to store a glide on here. Then I can transfer the glide and the freeze to me on Hoarfrost. Now I can do 8 damage to the boss. I can't kill it, so I'm going to go ahead and just do 8 damage to it. So we're going to replace this 9 with a 1, and it's at 25. Now, the fun part here is that I can use this glide token to use the next thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to glide down from Hoarfrost to Thoughtsome. That lets me store 2 ice shards in the freezer. Inflict Ice Cube, which does nothing, so I get a momentum. But it does allow me to do another 6 damage to the boss. So I'm going to replace this 10 with a 4. And then I just remembered, because I'm an idiot, I just remembered that each of my attacks does 1 additional damage, so that's actually 2 more damage that I've done. So we're making a dent. We're making a dent in the Gamma Sentinel. That's all I can do. I've got 1 CP, which doesn't do anything for me. I still have no way to remove this burning sensation. Oh, poor Iceman going to melt. And that's the end of my turn. So we're going to go on to the henchman roll phase and see what we come up with here. This is looking pretty terrible. So we've got enough stuff that basically a lot of bad things can happen. I do not have anything to mitigate it, so we're going to just go left to right and the things are going to happen. So first, The Alpha Sentinel is going to shoot again. It's going to get a 4th shield token, so that thing's going to be super strong. It's going to inflict burn, but I'm already burnt, and that stack limit is 1. And then it's going to do 5 defendable damage to me. I think I'm supposed to add up all the damage coming in, but that's going to be the only defendable damage, so I'm going to go ahead and deal with that first, which is to roll 3 dice to defend. And I got 2 ices and 1 slide. So the ice deals 1 damage back to him, so that gets rid of one of his shields. Nope, because it's undefendable. So that gets him down to this. And then the slide prevents 2 damage. So I take 5 minus 2 is 3 from that attack. Oh, I'm going to lose. And then the Gamma Henchman, who has 1 of each thing, is going to shoot everybody at range and deal 5 undefendable damage. That brings me down to 33. And then, because there was a star, there's radiation, which does 3 undefendable damage to everyone. So I've gone from 45 health to 30 health already. It's a little scary. I might just have to kill this purple one and go ahead and let all those people die. The problem is, if they die, I take damage for each of them too. So that's suffering succotashi. Okay, we're going to advance the crisis clock by 1. Now I want to point out at this point, because this is so much harder than the Doc Ock scenario, if I was playing with 2 players, this would advance twice and triggered both fields. 3 players, 3 times, triggers 3 things. 4 players, 4 times, triggers 4 things. So it can get out of control very, very quickly if you're playing it multiple player. Okay, my turn. First, I do movement. I'm going to move to the other space that's next to the pink one. That's going to give me 1 CP up to 2. I am going to do my income phase, where I go from 2 CP to 3, and I draw a card, which upgrades one of my stronger abilities, so I like that one. But what I am going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and spend my 2 momentum to summon She-Hulk. So upon summoning She-Hulk, or replacing her with Captain America, which I don't care about, when I recruit her, I heal 3, which is very important based on how much damage I'm taking. Once per round, during an opponent's roll phase, I can spend 1 momentum to add range to my defensive ability. And that would allow me to also activate my defense against an undefendable attack. So I would be able to defend against all of these shots that had been coming at me. And I was really hoping that I was going to be able to do that before all of that damage came my way, but that is not what happened. Luckily, there are 2 healing spaces on the board, so I might be able to pull some more stuff out as we go. What I forgot to do is take my 2 damage from burn, bringing me down to 31. I really need to get rid of that burn, which means I need card draws because I just don't have it. But instead, I am going to also spend 2 CP to upgrade. I'm actually going to use that to upgrade Hail to the King, which is my, I just missed my ultimate ability, and hope that comes up a little bit more often. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to win this. I'm already feeling a little shy. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ices, which seems great, but isn't that great in the end of the day, because I don't have 4 of a kind, which doesn't give me the ice shard from it. 7 damage just isn't going to do much for me in the grand scheme of things. I think that the best option for me is going to be to try to do what I did on the last turn and chain some straights. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the 1, 2, and 3 of that and roll these 2. See what we get. I got a 4, so that brings me to a small straight. Maybe I can get a large straight. And I got a 6. The 6 actually doesn't do anything for me. I'm not going to use any of my CP to do anything. I'm just gonna wimp out. I'm going to take this small straight. That lets me put 2 ice shards in the freezer, bringing me up to 4. I inflict ice dice cube, which really just gives me a momentum, and then I deal 6 damage, which would be 7 damage, because of my focus, and that will leave this sentinel with 10. So unfortunately, couldn't kill it, couldn't pull out any of the stuff. But the good news is that I have momentum, so I can spend one momentum to activate my defense ability against an undefendable attack in case the Gamma Sentinel attacks. Now, I don't know if I can use my defensive more than once per round if I get attacked twice. I don't remember this rule, so I'm going to check it. I'm going to recheck it. Henchman, let's see the defensive ability. Enemy attack roll. I can perform a defense roll against each defendable attack. Yeah. So I might want to spend that depending on how these bad dice come up. But let's see how the bad dice come up first. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we've just got, that's perfect. That is going to mean that the green ones are going to melee attack everyone adjacent to them, but no one's adjacent to them. So the Alpha Sentinels, all that stuff aren't going to move. Our crisis clock moves forward, and I lose my 1 CP. But I'm still alive. That's the important part. And I have a little bit of flexibility here now, so things can get a little better, I hope. So, my turn. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move to this space and heal 5 because gosh knows I need it. So that brings me from 31 to 36. During my income phase, I get 1 CP. I draw 1 card. These are a bunch of poopies that I have. Oh, that was bad. That was stupid because I'm going to take collateral damage from that Beta Sentinel. Oh, I shouldn't have gone to that space. That was silly of me. It's too late. I'm gonna learn from my mistakes and learn to do better next time. Okay. I'm going to spend my 1 CP so that I can attack at range and go ahead and attack. Yep. When I gain range, is it in that one phase or is it for the whole round? Is my question. I just want to check that. Gaining range. Gaining range must be done before resolving any attack effects. So I always have to declare range before I do an active attack effect, and then I have range for that whole round. Read that. If that's wrong, I don't know, but that's how I read it. Okay. I'm gonna check that with some folks. If I remember. I won't remember. I never remember anything. Okay, here we go. All right. I've got a 6. I've got a 5. I've got a 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do that thing again where I'm gonna hold on to this 6 and cross my fingers and hope that things can work out much better for me. I got a second 6. Okay, so we're on the 6 train now, and we're gonna try to get 2 more 6s. And I did not. I got 1 CP. That would let me reroll 2 dice. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use that CP and re-roll 2 dice. I'm gonna save this white one in case I can use it with something else. And please give me a 6. No. All right. I made my bed. I gotta live in it. I have a whole bunch of poop. I can do 5 damage at range. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that shot here. It's actually gonna do 6 damage because I have focus fire. Oh, I forgot to take 1 damage from my burn. Yeah, this is. Ooh, we're gonna die. It's gonna be terrible. We're gonna die. It's gonna be terrible. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's it. Moving on to the enemy phase. This is going to be nasty. Okay. So luckily, the green ones did not attack, which is nice. I do have range this turn from She-Hulk because I use the range to do other things. So the one that does trigger is going to be the Alpha Sentinel again, this nasty burning dude. Alpha Sentinel is going to get a 5th shield, which means we're never going to kill that, so we might as well just not even think about it. It inflicts burn again, isn't that great, and it deals 5 damage, which I can try to defend against. I deal 1 damage back to it, like that matters, and I prevent 2, so I only take 3, bringing me down to 32, so that was lucky. Now comes the bad part. The bad part is as follows. Okay, so we advance the crisis clock and Beta does its crisis. It's going to do 2 damage to all bystanders within melee range. So this bystander goes down to 2 health. This bystander goes down to 2 health. This bystander goes down to 2 health. That's a whole lot of bystanders losing health, which is not great. The worst part here is it does 5 collateral damage to heroes within melee range, and I moved there to heal 5, and now I lose 5 because I'm a doofus. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, my turn again. I don't have momentum, which is problematic. So I'm going to move over here to get 3 momentum so that I can still shoot at the big dude and like at least like keep doing stuff. During my upkeep phase, I lose 2 health from burn. I get 1 CP, so I have 1 and I draw a card. I'm very CP shy. Oh, that's lovely. I can spend 1 CP to remove a status effect token from a chosen player. I've been waiting for that card forever, and there it is. And now we are going to spend 1 momentum in order to change ourselves to ranged. Oh, wait. I think her spend 1 is later. How does that work? Hold on. Maybe I have to use her to do that. You can gain range by spending momentum for allies. Spending momentum for. Oh, I don't know. I'm still confused about this. This is something I really need to figure out if range is separate for attack versus defense or not. I'll figure it out some other day, not today. Right now, we're just going to try to do 4 damage for that big dude and kill him. That'll be enough to do it. We're going to do Cold Tree 2. We're going to get 1 CP. We're going to store 2 ice shards in the freezer, which would be 4 plus 2 is 6. So we're going to leave 1 there and put this here. So I still need something that allows me to transfer those out of the freezer, which this doesn't, so I can't use that glide yet. And then I'm going to deal 8 damage and defeat this guy. So that's good. The good news is we get to defeat 3 symbols, which means I get 6 momentum, bringing me up to 8. This means that I save. Ooh, I lost some health over there. I feel like he had 4 more health than he was supposed to because that was actually on that bystander and I must have slid it around. It is what it is. We're just going to keep going. Because I saved a bystander, this one, I remove all health tokens on it. I place a clear token on it, and I can draw a card. So, okay. All right. Not a great card for me and what I need. That's the end of my turn. So, what can I do here? 8 momentum now in my main phase. So I'm actually going to exhaust She-Hulk to heal 2. And then recruit another ally. I'm going to spend 1 to gain Captain America. I'm going to immediately exhaust Captain America, get 2 shield tokens. Can I recruit more than 1? I didn't spend 1. Can I recruit more than 1 ally per round, or can I only recruit 1 ally per round? That's another question. Allies. Play by default. Yeah, I think I can do another one right away. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 more momentum, bringing me down to 5 to recruit Nick Fury, and that gives me another shield. Once per round during the crisis clock phase, I can spend 3 momentum to ignore the effects of that phase. Affects the single crisis ability space for 1 turn. Exhaust, ignore the effects of the single crisis. Oh, I guess that's if I don't have momentum, but I still want to ignore it. So that's going to be good. I might be able to get some more legs out of this based on all of that. We'll find out. Well, let's see how this enemy phase goes first and how beaten up I feel. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna roll this dice, and we've got. Oh, that's bad. Could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. I got 1 CP. Can't do nothing about it. We're just gonna have to. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna have to suck this up. Okay, so first, this green one is gonna do melee to me. It's going to inflict entangle, which sucks, and it's gonna deal 9 defendable damage. But we get to roll our defense dice, so that's good. So let's go ahead and roll our defense dice. That does 1 damage back to it. That should be a 4 now. And I get to prevent 2 damage, so that would do 7 damage to me. So I'm going to lose 2 of these shields and take 1. So I did a lot to save myself there, which is good. So the question here is, do we give up and run, or do we try to save some more people? Now, if I don't save people, I'm going to have to do the failure penalty. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3. I will lose 12 health immediately going into the boss fight with only 14. Now the problem here is, I forgot to move this camera. Now the problem here is that I'm going to take damage. I can get myself into. The problem here is the damage that I'm going to take if I try to kill this thing. But I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to kill one of these green ones before I exit. Because if I kill this, and I manage to take less than 6 damage doing it, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. We're running away. Sorry, bystanders. Sorry, so sorry. Okay, so we have defeated 1, 2, 3, 4 bystanders. We are a terrible hero. I have to discard 4 cards. That's my whole hand. I have to take 12 damage. That brings me to 14. And we're just gonna go ahead and get killed by Master Mold, and that's just gonna be the world that we're gonna go through. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Now what sucks is I had an ability that could have dealt collateral damage to all opponents, but I just never got it to work, and that might have helped me scale this a little bit different. But that is just quite simply not how this scenario played out. Um, Now, for the record, this should be nearly impossible for me based on where I am. For the way the rule book describes the levels is as follows. A hard mission is very challenging with, for even veteran players, some perks are likely required for success. So, based on that in the rule book, odds are that I was going to do poorly in this because I should be more leveled up before I try to deal with this scenario. But let's see what happens on the other side. Let's see if we can pull like some extra PP, that's perk points out of here. We do get 1 perk point because we completed the first map, which is why I took the idea of just I'm gonna make the run for it and go, because at least that way I level something up and I get something out of the experience rather than 0 if I had died on this first map. So let's flip this over, and here is Master Mode. And I hiccuped like a wild man. Let's see what crisis this starts on. All right. So what do we have here? We have side 2, the boss fight. I just want to make sure again that I'm not supposed to put boost tokens on those spaces yet, because now I feel like maybe I was when I fought Doc Ock and I screwed that up. So give me just a clock tick here. Set up boss fight. Yeah, I boo-booed that on the previous one. That was not correct. Oh shoot. Okay. So Doc Ock should have been harder than he was because these tokens should have existed on every space of the board. So I should have been hit by a crit effect at some point in time. So we're gonna do it right this time. Unlike last time. All right. Okay. You enter the Sentinel factory to find Master Mold behind the attacks. All humans bear some mutation. All humans must be brought to heal for further study. That's my voice for Master Mold. Master Mold is going to start with 35 health, plus 25 per hero, plus 3 per oppression token, which is a thing you do to make difficulties higher once you're good at the game and you know what you're doing, which I still don't. So he's going to have 60 health, 6-0. Okay, 60 health for him. Master Mold's health. The risk of mutation is widespread and dramatic measures must be enacted. The goal is to reduce him to 0. On completion, you win. The crisis abilities, green is roll 1 die per hero, gain a shield for each orange roll. Orange is a heat vent. Each hero receives 1 collateral damage for each negative status token they're afflicted with. Blue is waste ejection, remove 1 random negative status effect from Master Mold. And the red is tracking missile, inflict focus fire on all heroes. Focus fire has a limit of 2. And he's going to burn you at range whenever you hit him. So anything that is not indefensible is going to be a burn. Huzzah! Huzzah! So let's figure this out. So I think these spaces are also adjacent to him, the ones that are adjacent to his hand. At least that's how I read it, and they're kind of purple on the side, so that is definitely how I read it. So my entry point is going to be here. So I take this token and it remains face down, which means he's going to crit against me if he hits me, which is going to be nasty, nasty, nasty sauce it is. Yeah. And here we roll. Here we roll, roll, roll. Okay, so I get a CP. I draw a card, 1 card in my hand. That would have been nice if I had more stuff to deal with. I don't really have a way to get rid of this entangle, so I only get to roll twice this time. So my first roll started off with 2 6s, which makes me feel like I just have to try to get a third one, even though I only get one more roll. So this could be a whiff. It's a whiff. So we got. Um, oh shoot! So I missed. I missed altogether. So this token goes away at least. That's good. Oh, jeez. And then we are going to roll the batty dice. Okay, batty dice. Oh my gosh. What kind of a dice roll is this? The good news is multiple successes are actually not terrible. Now, what I don't understand is, oh, I read this sheet wrong. I thought that boost tiles during Doc Ock only added if you rolled a 6, but no. The red dice just tells you which spot they go in. So in this case, they're both going in the 6th spot. Is it? So they both go here. Now, I don't know why that would be like that, because I'm never going to want to stand on that spot. But sure, why not? Okay, my turn. Oh, and after they attack, I get this ability, which is 3 momentum. Now, I risk crits if I'm on those spaces. But I get stuff for being on those spaces if I survive. Oh, I forgot to do the crisis move. Crisis move is I roll 1 die, and for each orange he gets a shield, so he gets a shield. Where did I put his? We'll just put that here on his face. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna try to collect some stuff. So we're gonna do what we can to try to like at least power up a little while we're fighting. That's nice, but useless. Nice, but useless. Useless, but nice. Okay, so we're gonna roll our dice. That is not a lot of great stuff, but I feel like I'm going to try to get this cold treat card. That means I need a white, and of course I didn't get one. So instead I got, oh, okay, I got something. I got ice to meet you. I gain an ice shard, and that goes right onto my board. I inflict dice cube, which in my case means I get a CP. I feel like I need to. I feel like I'm gonna need to exhaust Nick Fury at some point to do some better things, but whatever. I'm gonna now roll 5 dice and do stuff. So first, for every white, I deal 1 undefendable damage, so that's 3 damage to Master Mold, bringing him from 60 health to 57 health. I store 1 shard in the freezer because of the slide token, and for each star, I can gain a glide or draw one, and I don't currently have a glide, so I'm going to go ahead and gain that. Because, and I'm gonna go ahead and gain that, so that on my next turn, maybe I can use it to do some extra stuff. I have 3 CP now, which I'm gonna hold on to. Okay, so, baddie attacks. Baddie attacks, we have, ooh, that's the bad one. I don't have any way to mitigate or change it. It's going to be terrible. Oh, wait. I did damage to him, so he inflicted burn on me. Forgot that. That's going to suck. Okay, here we go. It is going to do 12 damage plus 4 because I have burn. That's going to be 16. So if I can't defend successfully, it's going to be real bad. I deal 1 undefendable damage to him. I reduce that damage coming in by 2. So that is 14. I use this, which makes it 11. I spend a CP to use not this time, which makes it 5. So I take 5 damage and I have 9 health left. And he has 56. The good news is I got 1 shitty momentum out of that. So I think what I'm coming down to is unless I can remove a burn after I attack, I should not be going to these spaces and collecting these boost tokens. Also, I forgot on his attack, we're going to add a boost to 6 and a boost to 3. Now, this crit effect, I don't think scales. I think it is enemy roll phase boss. Yeah, so like, this is supposed to tempt me to get crit. So if I go here and I get all of these things, the crit effect would only happen once, but I would get the benefits of 4 potential Qs. So that's where that comes from. But we are going to move the thing to waste ejection. He's going to remove 1 negative token from himself, but he doesn't have any. So that's irrelevant to me. I don't care about it. Okay. Moving on to my turn. I am not going to move on to these spaces with crit anymore, but I do take 2 damage from that burn, bringing me to 7 health. I'm going to raise my CP to 3. I'm going to draw a card. That's pretty awesome. It's just not really worth it. I am going to exhaust Nick Fury, and the reason I'm doing that is I just want to try to get some better cards, honestly. So we're going to go ahead and spend 1 momentum to take Jubilee. Jubilee will let us useful later. So Jubilee, I can spend 3 momentum to change the value of one of my dice to a 6, and exhaust her to change the value of another die to a 6. So I could like do stuff to like force my world into being the crits that I want. Hopefully. All right. So we got crap as usual. We're gonna keep that 6 and cross our fingers. Oh my gosh, we got 3 6s now. Okay, we got 3 6s now. We're gonna use our 3rd roll here. This might be the big one. Ah, yes! We didn't get 5 6s, we got 4 6s. And I actually think that is better for me based on what's on the board right now. So that's what I'm gonna stick with. We're gonna use Hail the King 2. Hail the King 2 is gonna give us 3 ice shards, which brings us up to 5 ice shards total. We inflict Dice Cube, which gives us 1 momentum. We're going to deal 7 undefendable damage and 2 collateral damage to all opponents. So first we're going to deal with the 7 undefendable damage. We are going to spend 2 CP for I only have ice for you, which adds 1 damage per ice shard that I have, so that's a +5. So that is 7 plus 5 is 12. We're going to just go ahead and spend this now and make that 13 because we're just trying to do as much damage as we basically can. So that is 13 damage that we do with that attack. So 13 brings him from 56 to 43. Okay, not so bad. And the good news is, guess what? We got a glide this time. So we're going to go ahead and spend that glide to move from Hail the King 2 to Thawsome. That lets me store 2 ice shards in the freezer. It lets us inflict a dice cube, which only really gives us a momentum. And more importantly, it lets us do 6 more damage to the boss, bringing him to 37. So like, yeah, we made a nice dent there. Burn is inflicted on me. Nothing I can do about that. I got a whole bunch of poopy crap in my hand. None of these things are useful for what I need right now. But additionally, I get to also... Oh, I forgot my... I do 2 collateral damage to everything, which would have done 2 damage to him. And that last attack was defendable, so he would have used this, which means he's got 3 more health than I thought he did. So he's actually at 38. 38 heading into my death knell. He could very well kill me here. Yeah, that's going to be it, I think. So he's doing Fury of the Forge again, which is going to deal 12 damage. Oh, I get to roll 3 dice to defend. I deal 1 damage to him, bringing him to 37. I got a star 2, so I can deal 2 more damage, bringing him to 35. I get to prevent 2 damage, so that's going to go from 12 to 10. Unfortunately, I only had 7 health, so that is a very dead Iceman. So I lost the mission, but the good news is I still get perk points. I completed side 1 of the mission, so I get 1 perk point. And this is a difficulty 3 perk point, so I can put this under one of these columns in part 3 instead of one of these columns in part 1. Interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a star under the level 2 difficulty 2 track, because I want to try to get my momentum cards stronger and see what those stronger momentum cards do. I still think this game slaps. I thought that first one was too easy. I obviously made a lot of mistakes. I didn't do all the boost stuff. It's fixed. It'll be better next time. I do have a question about range and attack versus defense, so I'm going to see if I can sort some of that stuff out before the next time I play. That all said, we're not getting any more videos on this. I'm going to play it by myself. Maybe when I feel really solid at it, I'll come at it and do like a revenge play on Master Mode when I'm ready to kill him. But I really like this. This is such an improvement over Dice Throne Adventures. And it's going to be so easy for them to expand this. Like you just need these two double-sided boards. These mission cards, these mission boards do not have cards, do not have additional effects, do not have anything that needs to be provided other than this 2-sided card and what everything on it does. This one 2-sided board. It's going to be so, and that also means it's going to be so easy for like fan-made expansions and stuff like that too. I think the potential here is beyond. That's where I'm at. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget, unlike poor Iceman, it wasn't his fault. We just weren't ready for this. Keep your health bars full. Thank you and have a great evening.